It's your woman's fault why things aren't working out. It's her fault why you're not happy. It's her fault. It's the woman's fault. Anytime you try to do something, it ends up being her fault. She does this, she does that. She never takes accountability. She never takes responsibility. Everything she does is all because of her. Any problems, any challenge that you have in your relationship, it's because of your woman. I want you to hear what I'm saying. I want you to really hear what I'm saying. Any challenges that you're having, any arguments, any disrespect, any of that, it's because of your woman. I want you to really think about what I'm saying. It's your woman. At the end of the day, you're in a relationship with her, so therefore it is her fault. It's her responsibility, and she needs to take accountability for things being her fault. I get it, guys. I definitely get it. Now, I want you to think about everything I just said. How it's being her fault, how she's not taking accountability. It's women these days. I want you to think about what I'm saying. And I want you to take that in. It probably feels good. It really feels good to blame a woman. And it feels good maybe for a minute, maybe for a few hours, maybe for a few days, maybe for a few weeks, maybe for a few months, maybe for a few years. It feels really good to point the finger and blame the woman, right? I get it. But that's probably the reason why you're stuck. You're probably stuck because you're constantly blaming the woman. And I want to talk to you about something. I'm not here to bash women. I'm not here to bash men. I'm not here to make you feel bad. I'm not here to make you feel good. But what I am here to talk about is the one thing that you can control. And that one thing is your own actions, your thoughts, your emotions, your actions, how you view things. That's all in your control. But the moment that you blame a woman or you say it's the woman's fault, you're giving your power and your control away. Not just your control, your power. Not just your power, but your control. You're giving that all away to a woman. And it's just like anybody else. If another person is the reason why you're at where you're at right now, it has to do with you. You have to take accountability. You have to take responsibility, because if you don't, you will place your value on people and things that are external. And if things don't go your way externally, or a person does you wrong, or it rains outside, it's always that person's fault. It's always the weather. It's always this and that. But it's never you, because you have personal power, right? You also have self-empowerment. You also have self-reliance. These are the things that you have control over. And I know that it may be difficult, because you may be thinking that, well, she is the reason why this and that happened. She is the reason why I feel this way. If she was out of the equation, I wouldn't be in this situation. Hey, I get it. I understand where you're coming from. I completely get it. And at the same time, what you have to understand is, as a man, you have to be responsible for yourself. And as a leader, at the end of the day, you have to be responsible for the woman. As crazy as it sounds, at the end of the day, you have to be responsible for yourself as a man, but you also have to be responsible for a woman as a leader. And let me explain what I mean by that. Now, I'm not trying to get too biblical. I just want to use this for example. In the story of Adam and Eve, right? Who ate the apple? First it was Eve, right? And then Eve was like, hey, it's not that bad. This tastes pretty good. Here, why don't you eat the apple? And Adam was like, yeah, I guess I'll eat the apple, right? So they were told not to eat from the tree of knowledge, right? But they ended up doing it anyway. And then when God came to look for Adam, not Eve. He didn't look for Eve. He looked for Adam. And he said, Adam, what's going on? I told you not to eat from the tree of knowledge. What's going on? And he said, what? Well, you know, Eve said it was okay. She took a bite and then she gave me the apple. So it's her fault, right? Now, in the very beginning, God gave Adam the directions of not to eat the apple. But what happened? He let his woman talk him into eating the apple, and then he was punished for it, pretty much. Well, every mankind, pretty much, at the end of the day, all because he didn't pay attention, all because he didn't do what God told him to do, all because he didn't take the orders from God and execute on them. And that's the same thing that I see with a lot of men. You're supposed to lead. It's just like when I was in the Marine Corps, if a captain told me, hey, Sergeant Palmer, this and that needs to get done by close of business tomorrow, right? And I have corporals under me, I have lance corporals under me, I have privates under me, PFCs, I have all these different ranks, right? I have 4 different ranks under me, but the captain told me to make sure this gets done, that gets done by close of business tomorrow. If that doesn't get done, when that captain comes back tomorrow by close of business or at close of business and the things are not done what he said that needs to get done, who is he going to blame? Who's going to take accountability? Me, Sergeant Palmer. Why didn't this get done? Now, if I say, sir, the reason why it didn't get done is because of this, this, and that. This Lance Corporal had to do this Corporal had to do that, this PFC, this private had to do this and that. If I say that and I use those excuses, he's going to look at me like I'm crazy, and he's going to say, well, I guess this position isn't for you. Let me replace you with somebody that is capable of taking care of what needs to be taken care of in a timely manner, because you can't do it. Now, if I say, hey, sir, I take full accountability, it's my fault because I didn't do this, and that, he may give me a leeway. He may talk to me like, hey, don't let this shit happen again, right? But see, the problem is when it comes to you and your woman, this is the issue. The issue is when you don't take leadership, you don't take responsibility, and you're not able to delegate. I'm not saying you have to dominate and tell a woman what to do, but if you're not being a leader, somebody has to step up to the plate. And so what happens is, in her mind, well, he's unable to lead, so guess what? I'm going to lead now. She's not even just the captain that is telling you what to do now. She's the person that's replacing you as the man that is supposed to lead in the first place. That's where problems happen, because I me personally, like, I don't like to talk about internet jargon and shit like that, but the term modern woman, right? The term modern woman and women are this and women are that. I get that some women are not sugar and spice. Some women are not, like, they don't have accountability, they don't have responsibility. I get that. But your job as a man is to teach her that. Your job as a man is to lead. Your job as a man is to lead. So if she isn't doing those things, guess what? You have to lead. You have to show her the way. Hey, this is how you take accountability. This is how you be responsible for this. This is how you be responsible for that. And you have to delegate. Some of you guys are afraid to tell your woman what to do. And I don't mean in a negative way of like, bitch, go do this, go do that. I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is some of you are afraid of saying, hey, this is what we need to do. This is what needs to get done. Are you able to do that? Are you able to do this? If you need help, let me know. And when you can't do that, she can't follow your lead, especially if you're not leading yourself and you're not keeping word to yourself and what you say you're going to do. And that's the biggest thing. Like I said in the beginning, it feels great to blame a woman for your problems and your challenges and everything that goes wrong in your relationship or your marriage. And at the same time, that's the reason why you're stuck. That's the reason why you're, I mean, seriously, that's the reason why you're stuck. It's just like some people that blame other people for the reasons why they can't get ahead in life. And if you're blaming other people of why you can't get ahead in life, then that really to blame somebody else. And yeah, it is hard to be a leader. It is hard to do what you have to do. It is hard to take accountability. It is hard to fight the good fight and put in as much effort as possible when a a person, you know, quote unquote, is stopping you from being great in life, or is stopping you from getting ahead in life. It's easy to blame people, man. And that's my thing. It's like, as long as you blame somebody else for the positions that you're in, good or bad. I mean, don't get me wrong. Some people have helped me along the way, but focus so much on what's stopping you, and you focus so much on the problems and the challenges and the issues that other people bring into your life. When you focus so much on that, where is your own personal power? You don't have it. And you have personal power. You have, you know, self-reliance. You can be empowered, but you choose the route of being lazy and not doing what needs to get done. And so you put the blame on the woman. Boys do that. Boys blame women. Boys say, women are this these days, women are that. Are you sure? All women? And then the other thing is, men that get respect from their woman, and men that do not blame women and that are successful with women, how is that possible? How is that possible? If every woman is the same and modern women are this and that, how is it possible that some men can be in a relationship where the woman is submissive and obedient? How is that possible? It's possible because they have leadership. It's possible because they're not blaming things outside of them. They're not blaming the woman, because at the end of the day, you have to answer for you, but you also have to answer for your woman if you're in a relationship and things don't go the way they should go. Understand it. I want you, if you're a younger guy watching this, or whatever, however old you are, give me a thumbs up if you get what I'm trying to say. You can't blame a woman for every fucking problem in every situation that you have in your life. You have to take accountability. When are you going to take accountability? When are you going to say, okay, I may not be a great leader, but I need to become a great leader? When are you going to say, I'm not great at controlling my emotions, or I'm not great at controlling myself? When are you going to take action to actually learn how to do that? When are you going to take the action to actually learn how to do that? Because as long as you blame a woman for your problems and your mistakes and your challenges, and I'm not trying to say that they can't add a little to it, but at the end of the day, what are you going to do about it? It's just like, if you go, maybe this is not a good example, but this is what came to mind. If you go help an injured snake and you heal him up, and he's good to go now, and he turns around and bites your ass, then do you blame the snake or do you blame yourself? Because you can have a snake, you can handle a snake, you can help a snake. However, being stupid is not protecting yourself from being bitten by the snake, thinking that it doesn't bite when snakes do bite, right? And when it comes to women, and the reason why I say it may not be a great example, when it comes to women, the women that are conniving and vindictive and that are bad and negative and this and that, when it comes to those women, guess what? You have the power to walk the fuck away. You have the power to walk the fuck away. But if you don't walk the fuck away, then that's another issue. That's on you, because it's not her the reason why you're not walking away. It's you. You don't have self-confidence and you don't value yourself enough to be able to do that. So instead of doing that, you stay with the woman and you blame her for all your problems. Now, if you're able to walk away, then that's great. That's great, because now you have personal power and you can make decisions and be accountable. And regardless of how you feel or what the situation ends up being, you know that you walked away from a relationship where it didn't serve you. You know that you walked away from a woman that is abusive or whatever the fuck you say, at the end of the day is what are you going to do about it? A woman is this and a woman is that. What are you going to do about it? And I don't want to get too deep into it, but it's like, if you say like, okay, well, I'm just going to go and just fuck these women, that's it. I don't want anything else because they're not about shit, then that's great. But it's like, do you know, do you know that a woman can bring value and peace into your life? So if you say that the only thing you're gonna do is just fuck a woman, then it's almost like you don't understand how women work. You don't understand the value that a woman can bring into your life. What I mean by that is, regardless of how you feel about women and what they do or don't do, my thing is, guess what? I could get more out of a woman, and I want more out of a woman than just the sex, because the sex you can get from any woman. So what makes a woman so special where you want sex? And that's it. My thing is, I want to know where your mind is at. I want to know, what can you bring to the table mentally? What can you bring to the table when it comes to your skills? The sex is great, whatever, but I can get that from any woman. And so if you think that that is all you can get from a woman, and that's all, that's the only value she has, then don't be surprised when she uses sex as a tool. Don't be surprised when she uses sex to manipulate you. Don't be surprised when she withholds sex from you when you want it and you don't get it, because she knows that's all you want from her. She knows that's all you think that makes her valuable, but it's not. Understand that, man. That's not the only thing. But if you're out here thinking that all women are bad and this and that and modern women, yada, 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 if that's all you think about, I'm here to tell you that that's all you're going to get. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. That is all you're going to get. And if that's all you're going to get, then you're not going to get anywhere, and you're never going to be able to take responsibility, take accountability, and get further in life or your relationship when you do that. So understand that you have to be responsible. You have to be a leader. You have to be honest with yourself, have an honest assessment, and ask yourself, where do I suck at in life? Where do I suck at as a man in a relationship? And you work on those things. You work on those things, because regardless of which woman you're with, or if you break up, or if you divorce, or if you're dating a different woman, it doesn't matter. You're still going to be left with you. And if you don't work on yourself and you don't take accountability and responsibility and strengthen your leadership, it doesn't matter what woman you get into a relationship with, because it's always going to be the same. Nothing's going to change. It's always going to be the same. And you're going to continue to blame women. And if you're always blaming women, then you will never be able to lead a woman. You can't lead a woman if you're always blaming them. So just wanted to hop on here, give you this message. Remember, it's not about blaming the woman. It's not about the things that you say that she does or doesn't do and pointing fingers. You have to learn how to lead, and you have to learn how to be the type of man that she respects, that she listens to, that she submits to, that she is devoted to. You know, you have to be that type of man, because if you're not that type of man, you're always gonna have problems and issues. But those problems and issues are because of you, not necessarily her. And if you're blaming her, saying those issues are because of her, then you're always gonna be stuck. One last thing I want to leave you with is, try not to listen to or be around other men or males that blame everything for the woman and say it's the woman's fault, it's her, this, and that. Because as long as you are stuck in that cycle, you're always going to be frustrated. You're always going to get the results that you don't want. It's an ever-ending cycle. I'm just being honest with you. But until you take ownership, until you become a leader and you lead yourself, until you do those things, you're going to be stuck. Literally, you're going to be stuck at where you're stuck at. And then men and other women are going to validate your ideas of how you see women, the bad in them. And it's just something you have to understand, because as men, we're leaders. If you just jumped on here, make sure you watch the beginning of this video when it uploads, because I'm going to talk you through exactly, where I'm at right now in this video, and it'll make a lot more sense to you. Other than that, let me read this real quick. out for the first one. Where is the line between holding women accountable and blame? That's a damn good question. I like how you think, because you are actually asking a serious question that actually makes sense, and it can help a lot of men. You're not blaming, you're not getting mad at me, you're not getting mad at women. You're actually asking a genuine question. I appreciate that. So, the way you draw the line between accountability and blame is, if you are saying that a woman is doing this, she's doing that, and you're not taking any action, you're not taking any leadership. If you say, for example, a good example would be, she keeps nagging me, right? She keeps nagging me about this, she keeps nagging me about that. And you know that, okay, she shouldn't be nagging me because this issue is something small. This isn't a big issue at all. Now, if you address it and say, hey, I noticed that you keep talking about this, you keep talking about that. Now, what's the issue? What's the problem? Understand, and I don't mean come at her in a disrespectful or mean way. What I mean by that is, you have to see her point of view. You have to understand where she's coming from. And if it's something small, then if it becomes a habit and a pattern over and over and over, then you have an option. You have an option to leave the relationship, the situation, or stay in it. Because if she continues to do something, this is what I'm saying. It's like, even if a woman does something over and over and you address it and it doesn't change, it's a very thin line. Because my thing is, instead of blaming a woman for something, my thing is, I'm going to address it. I'm going to make sure that I come correct, so to speak. I'm not getting mad and angry and insulting her, because then it's going to become more of a bigger issue. But my thing is, you have to make sure that if you address those things and she still acts the same way, then maybe she's not the woman for you. So instead of blaming necessarily, like, oh, it's the woman's fault, it's the woman's fault, it's leave the relationship, if that makes sense. Because I hate to say that there's a line between accountability and blame, because it's like, regardless, at the end of the day, it's like, I don't like to blame women. I don't like to blame anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if she's in the wrong and everybody's like, she is in the wrong, man, like men and women say, hey, she's in the wrong. My only issue with blaming is because it never gives yourself accountability to leave the relationship or do what you need to do as a man to get out of that relationship or whatever. If that makes sense. I know that may not make sense, but at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is, you don't blame a woman. Even if it's her fault and she's fucking up, in your mind, don't say like, oh, it's fucking her fault. See, I knew it. Like, fuck her. She's to blame because she did this, this, and that. Even if that is the case, as crazy as it sounds, it's like, you don't blame her, you just walk away. Or you try to rectify the situation, and if the situation doesn't correct itself, you walk away from it, if that makes sense. It's kind of like, I guess the best way I could say it, and maybe it makes sense to you guys that have kids, but if my son tears up the house, or if he does what he does as a kid, I can't really blame him, because that's just what he does, right? I can teach him, right? So that comes in when it comes to leadership, teaching him like, hey, don't do this, do that. This is the reason why. I can teach him and train him to where he doesn't do those things anymore, right? But at the end of the day, if I blame him and he does something that is illegal, right? If he's underage, he does something that's illegal. He does something that's, wild and outlandish, or just his actions in general. The police are not going to look at him. They're going to look at me. If he goes to school and he does something wrong, they're not blame him. They may say like, hey, you need to come to the principal's office. Why'd you do that? Okay, we're going to call your parents, because your parents are the authority over you. And they're going to blame me. They're going to look at me. So I can't blame my son, but, oh, it's his fault. No, it's my job as a father and a leader to show him the way, to teach him. So when it comes to the woman, if your woman isn't trying to fall under leadership, or she's not trying to listen to what you have to say, then maybe she's just not the right woman. Maybe she's not the right woman. Now, I get what you're trying to ask me, and I get what you want me to say. However, what I'm saying is, if it really is her fault and she really is fucking up, and you've tried everything where you tried everything, right? If you really truly tried everything, your leadership is good, and you're just like, damn, in the past or other women I'm dating or talking to, I don't have this issue or this challenge. Like, it is fucking her. I've talked to other women, they said it's her fault. I talked to other men, they said it's her fault. When it comes down to that, that means you just leave the situation or the relationship. Don't put it in your mind that it's her fault. Put it in her mind that it just didn't work out. She's not the one for me. Because even if, like I said, even if it is her fault, if you blame her, that still takes a little bit of your own responsibility, your locus of control, because you can't control people outside of you. You can only control yourself. And so that is the biggest thing I'm talking about. The biggest thing I'm talking about is, even if it is her fault and you're the one that needs to be responsible for your part in the situation, and if it is her fault and you're blaming her, and you're supposed to be responsible and the leader, but you stay in that relationship, or you don't address it, or you don't do the things that you need to do, it falls back on you, because now you know better. Okay, it is her fault. What are you going to do about it? So, hope that makes sense. I like I said, the line between taking accountability and blaming her, you don't blame her. You take accountability for what your part is. You take accountability for that. But at the end of the day, if it doesn't work out and you've done everything that you doesn't wait, if you say like, yeah, it was her fault, so I left the relationship, that's great or whatever. So I took it upon myself as a leader and the man, and to be responsible and accountable to get out of that situation and put myself in a better situation. So I hope that answers your question. That's a really good question, but I don't want you to think that it's black and white between accountability and blame, if that makes sense. If you have any other questions, or you want to chop it up on the phone, and maybe you're in a situation where you're stuck or you're confused or whatever you're going through, make sure you schedule a 45-minute clarity session where we can actually dig deep beneath the surface and see why you're at where you're at, and see how it can help you move forward. So that's the biggest thing that I offer guys, is a clarity session to actually see what's going on. Because when you don't have clarity, it's hard to move forward. When you don't have clarity, it's hard to lead. When you don't have clarity, it's hard to take accountability for what you need to take accountability on. So other than that, it's been a great live. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you give us a thumbs up. Make sure you watch my other live, because make sure you watch my other lives, because I cover topics that pertain to relationships, pertain to dating. And at the end of the day, for my guys that are dating, I'm trying to help you avoid the pitfalls that a lot of men that are in relationships now, I'm trying to help you avoid those, so you don't have to worry about that, and you can actually choose the right woman. Now, for my men out there that are in relationships and you're frustrated, you feel stuck, you feel like you've tried this and tried that, and you just don't know what to do, that's exactly what I help you guys with. I help